Wearing the right clothing is an essential aspect of modern carp fishing. Making sure that you're warm, dry and comfortable, particularly through the autumn and winter seasons, is going to be the difference between a good session and a poor one. One system taken on by outdoor runners, walkers, hikers, you know, the outdoorsy kind of people, is this layering system, and essentially it's exactly that. Rather than just having a t-shirt and a big coat, we're going to talk about multiple layers. We've got Dave Lane yet again, who's going to demonstrate the layering system that he uses for his own fishing.
The 3-layer clothing principle is a recognised technique that's used by all outdoor specialists. It's a basic fact that water will transmit heat away from your body a lot faster than air. So it's very, very important to stay dry at all times, because sweaty, wet skin will get you colder quicker than anything. The theory behind the layer system is that various layers of thinner garments will keep you a lot warmer than one thicker garment, and this works by trapping air. This air becomes warm, so it traps warm air between the layers, and that keeps you a lot warmer than one thick outer coating. You can adjust this principle to suit the conditions and to suit your exertion levels, the temperature, the climate, whether it's wet or dry. If you start to get warm, simply remove a layer. If you start to get cold, put another layer on. To do this, the clothing must be capable of transporting the moisture away from your body whilst retaining the warm air layers and obviously keeping the elements off of you. The base layers are critical. They need to be of a performance where they can wick away any moisture that your body might create into the outer layers, transferring it into air or into the hard outer shell. Modern synthetic fibres make the very best base layers. They're strong, they're very light, and they dry extremely quickly. The mid layers act as an extension of the base layer, and they continue the transportation of moisture away from your body, away from the base layer, out of the mid layers. And they also provide an extra barrier to trap in the warm air and keep you warm. By selecting clothing layers with different insulation properties, you can control your body's temperature. So for extreme cold but dry conditions, this is a perfect top. It's a Thermatech style top. Puffs up with all the warm air that gets retained into it. It's uncoated, so it's very breathable. So again, all that moisture goes away, retains warm air. So for cold, dry conditions, this is the sort of kit you need. As I said earlier, it's very important to stay dry. And if you're fishing in wet conditions, you need a decent set of waterproof outers. Ideally, they should be a technically designed material that will obviously keep the moisture from the outside from coming in, but still allow that passage of moisture away from your body. Obviously, if you're moving around a lot, shifting your gear around the lake, pushing barrows and that, if you haven't got the correct sort of garment on the outside, you will sweat, you will build up that sweat, and if that gets retained, that will get you cold quicker than anything. Something that's often overlooked by a lot of anglers, to a lot of people, is footwear. You know, you've got all the clothing, but you need the footwear to go with it. You need breathable and waterproof boots. The essential thing is that any moisture that falls on them, any water that gets on them, will bead up and actually roll off of the boot. Because if you allow your boots to get wet, it will clog up the breathability, and that will trap all the moisture from your feet inside the boot, creating condensation. You get cold feet, you get cold all over. Up to 40% of your body loss of heat is through your extremities. So it's very important. Look after your feet will look after you.